This is The Power of Low Self-Esteem. In September 1893, Churchill was admitted on his third attempt to the Sandhurst Military College. He wrote to his father, "I was so glad to be able to send you the good news on Thursday." His father, a former Chancellor of the Exchequer and leader of the House of Commons, wrote back a week later, "You should be ashamed of your slovenly, happy-go-lucky, harum-scarum style of work. Never have I received really any good report from your conduct from any headmaster or tutor. Always behind, incessant complaints, and a total want of application to your work. You have failed to get into the 60th Rifles, the finest regiment in the army. You have imposed on me some extra charge of £200 a year. Do not think that I'm going to take the trouble of writing you long letters after every failure you commit and undergo. I no longer attach the slightest weight to anything you may say. If you cannot prevent yourself from leading the idle, useless, unprofitable life you have had during your school days, you will become a mere social wastrel, one of the hundreds of public school failures, and you will degenerate into a shabby, unhappy, and futile existence. You will have to bear all the blame for such misfortunes. Your mother sends her love." Churchill was 19 when he sent that. And that story hurts me to read, because I don't know the inner texture of Churchill's mind, but I would bet that even after defeating Nazi Germany and winning World War II, he probably still didn't feel good enough. You know, V-Day, whenever it was, June 30th, 1945 or something. How long did that sense of validation and enoughness linger with Churchill, having the greatest threat that had been faced for a very long time was just defeated? 2 days? Less than a day, maybe? Like, how quickly did his mind get back to castigating himself with that voice, that internal tyrant that was his father? And, you know, it sort of begs the question, what is the point of success if there is no satisfaction in the succeeding? Which is why you should be very aware of envying successful humans, because the price that you would need to pay to be the people that you admire is often one that you wouldn't foot the bill for. And I spoke about this idea to Neil Strauss, the guy that wrote The Game, and he wrote Rick Rubin's book, and then he wrote The Truth. He's got like 7 New York Times bestsellers, I think, and he's writing a new book. And he told me the title of this new book, and I came up with a rule off the back of his title, which is, you can tell how good an idea is by how envious you are of not coming up with it yourself when you hear about it. And he told me the title of this book, and I was like, fuck, that's so good. Why didn't I think of that? And the title of his new book is The Power of Low Self-Esteem. And it's this same idea that I've been obsessed with for a long time, which is, look at the very successful, very impressive people that you admire, that lots of people look up to, that we all hold in high esteem, and look at what the internal texture of their mind's like. Look at what the day-to-day existence for them feels like. And what does it mean? How driven to do amazing, great, fantastical things are they? And yet, in reality, do you want to be that person? Like, do you want to pay the price that you need to be the people that you admire? And The Power of Low Self-Esteem, just what an awesome title. And you can tell how good an idea is by how envious you are of not having come up with it yourself. So yeah, next one. This is kind of cool. I mean, terrifying, but also kind of cool. Obesity is now a greater threat to global health than hunger. A new Lancet study has found that more than 1 in 8 people in the world are clinically obese. The number passed 1 billion for the first time, and it is now the leading form of malnutrition, with the number of people considered underweight falling below 550 million. Being obese or underweight are both forms of malnutrition, because in both cases, people are not getting the right nutrients and vitamins and the types of calories that they need in order to be healthy. And experts have basically warned that children were paying the price for inaction on obesity by global leaders, with under-18s accounting for 159 million of those who are obese. So nearly twice as many people who are obese than are underweight. and it is the leading form of malnutrition in the world. And then I saw a study that showed people spend 8 hours a day on screens on average and 6.5 hours a day asleep on average. So we are now more people are dealing with malnutrition due to obesity than due to being underweight, and people spend more time per day on their screens than they do asleep. And that is a terrifying insight about the state of modern health. Before we continue, if your workouts feel flat, your recovery slow, or you've just been feeling off, it might not be your training plan or your diet. It might be something a bit more boring, like zinc. And while supplements like Tonkat Ali can help, zinc quietly plays a huge role in testosterone production, strength, recovery, and energy, and most people are chronically low on it, which is why I'm such a huge fan of Momentus's zinc. It supports testosterone, boosts vitality, and helps keep everything running like it should. Best of all, it's NSF certified for sport, which means it's been independently tested and approved for purity, safety, and zero shady ingredients. So even Olympic athletes can use it, and you too. And if you're still unsure, Momentus offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can buy it and try it for 29 days. If you don't love it, they'll just give you your money back. Plus, they ship internationally. Right now, you can get 35% off your first subscription and that 30-day money-back guarantee by going to the link in the description below or heading to livemomentus.com/modernwisdom using the code modernwisdom at checkout. That's livemomentus.com/modernwisdom and modernwisdom at checkout. Would you look at that? Clip is already over, but if you want more, don't be sad. The full episode is available right here. Go on.